Forces Radio BFBS Hal Stewart here with you. Now, my next guest has an interesting story to share, from a soldier who at one point was based in Iraq to a managing director of a company which has supplied over 22,000 cars to date to serving and ex-serving members of our armed forces. Steve Thornton, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
It's great having you here. So tell me about yourself and particularly your time with the armed forces.
Well, I've always wanted to join the military. Both parents were in the military when I was young. From my perspective, it was something that I always wanted to do and travel the world. I didn't want to join as a boy soldier at 16, so I wanted to wait a little bit longer. And when I was 20, just before my 21st birthday, I decided to join up and join the Army Air Corps.
Why specifically was it the Army and the Army Air Corps that appealed to you? Was that what your parents had been involved in?
Yeah, both of them were in the Army themselves. I really wanted to be a pilot, but I was colourblind, so that really put paid to that. And the Army was something that I really wanted to do. There was a lot more places that they could visit in the world, and I really wanted to travel, and that was interesting for me. So the Army Air Corps was the one.
Travel is definitely something that I hear from a lot of people when I ask why. Why did you join? Where was your favourite place that you either visited or were based?
Well, I always wanted to go to Germany. I'd always had an affinity with Germany. I don't know why, just it was always something I wanted to do. So certainly Germany, Sonthofen, Garmisch-Partenkirchen was the places that I really enjoyed. But Canada was another place that I went to during my time in the military. And
was that Battus?
It was Battus, yes. It was Battus, and then I had a chance to travel around Lethbridge, Banff, Edmonton and Calgary, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, did you watch any ice hockey?
No, I didn't see any ice hockey.
That's
but,
all to do, isn't it?
It was a lot. It was more the boys on tour, I think, on that time.
Absolutely. Well, we'll leave that there. So I think it's quite interesting for a lot of people to hear about that life after, the transition. For many people listening, there'll be some that know they're coming up to that point when they're going to leave the armed forces and they might be wondering what to do next. Not everyone gets into the role that you've got right now. Please tell me about your current role, Steve.
Well, I'm currently the owner and managing director of Forces Cars Direct, and after leaving the military, I really wanted to do something on my own, and it wasn't after a few years came an opportunity to get into car sales. Didn't think it would be something I'd wanted to do when I was younger, and I loved it. I really liked the idea, looking after the soldiers, giving something better than they weren't really used to, and after a few years of working for a company in Germany, I wanted to do my own thing. So I came back to the UK and investigated that. I was a bit unsure, didn't really know how to start it up.
It's a risk, isn't it?
It was a big risk coming from what I had known in Germany and a comfort level. But my old boss had also wanted to do something and didn't have a person that he wanted to do it with. So we got together and it was a great partnership for both of us, and we created Forces Cars Direct back in 2001.
Are there any similarities between being a managing director and being in the military?
I think certainly the rank structure and having people above you in the military who encourage you, when things aren't going well, and take you aside and look after you. I think from our perspective, that was a big learning curve for me in running a business, to go from just myself and then having 21 members of staff today, and allowing them to identify with their own roles and let them encourage themselves. That's something that have a similar part of the military from that side of things. So it's good encouragement.
I was thinking you probably already had discipline. You probably already had self-discipline with both parents in the army, but certainly the kind of key skill that you do get from a life in the military is that discipline, is that drive, and I imagine that probably helped you, particularly at the outset.
Yeah, it did. Having ambition and drive, certainly you need that in any business, because you are going to come up with times where things don't work the way that you want it. And you've got to be able to detach yourself from the emotion of that side of things, get it done, move on to the next stage, and then continue with what you need to do. And I think that's something I learned very early on in the military. I was a bit of a scallywag when I started in the military side of things, and and I was taken aside a few times and taught some good lessons.
Straightened out, as they say.
Straightened me out, yes. Yeah. So from my perspective, that was a good lesson from me, and moving forward with Forces Cars Direct certainly been good.
Steve, you can probably offer some advice here. One thing I hear time and time again from service leavers is they don't believe they have the skill set to go into Civvy Street And I keep saying you don't realise the skills you pick up in the military and how transferable they are. Would you say that's fair?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. At some point, you're going to get out. You've got to have a mindset to know that that's going to happen, and give it a chance and give it a go. You know, it won't always work first time round, but certainly, you know, have your own self-confidence with that and continue where you want to go.
You're a busy man. I won't keep you too much longer. I know there's a few events, of course, that you would regularly throw. What's the one coming up in Catterick I was hearing about?
Yeah, we've got a Party in the Park event in Catterick, which is this weekend on Saturday. And we've got our brand ambassador, Ant Middleton, turning up as well from SAS Who Dares Wins.
Yeah, of course.
And we've got about 40 cars on show for that event tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. So
you still get to travel then, Steve?
Yeah, another up and down the country for that side of things. So yeah, it should be a good event, and we're looking forward to having all of the family members, serving and past members, turn up at Catterick for the event tomorrow.
If people want any further advice from you, I want to ask you any questions. Are you open to people contacting you? Do you have any way they could do that?
Yeah, they can just contact our office, even if they're people who want advice on leaving the military or people want advice on cars. Obviously, we'll be able to help them out on that side of things. ForcesCarsDirect.com is the website, and has all of our contact details on there, a live chat as well. We're happy to take care of anybody.
Steve Thornton, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much. I think your story is extremely interesting. I think it will inspire others, and I wish you well going forward.
Thank you very much.